Talk about immortality. Some of us think maybe we will be immortal, that we'll live forever, but when you really think about it, we're not going to be. But I say this, through this bust, in that hall, we will be forever.
Good afternoon, everyone. Dick Stockton with John Madden.
Hi, everybody. I'm Vin Scully, along with John Madden.
I'm Pat Summerall here with my colleague John Madden, as usual.
Hi, I'm John Madden.
I have never worked a day in my life.
That is football. That is great football.
I went from player to coach.
Madden goes on the shoulders of his players.
To a broadcaster.
What a way to start a Super Bowl. Come out, make something happen.
And I am the luckiest guy in the world. This is one of the great holidays that we have, and we got the turkey here.
Jerry, you get the whole turkey. You get the whole bird. Long, flat. He comes here. He lines up here. Boom, he's center. Where are you going to run on this thing? They have no idea where we are, who we are, where we're coming from, or who we're throwing to.
It scares me, but I understand it completely.
This is a father bucket. This is a mother bucket. And since the last game, they had a baby bucket.
I can't tell you what a joy it's been working with you.
Well, I sure enjoy it, and I thank you for everything. For having to put up with all my goofy things.
There's no higher honor than winning a Super Bowl. This is as good as it gets. And the great thing about it, it lasts forever.
I thank you all very much. This has been the sweetest ride of them all. Thank you.
And Happy New Year, everyone, and welcome to the NFL Today. I'm James Brown, and indeed blessed to be in Studio 43 with my colleagues, of course, the former league MVP, that will be Boomer Esiason, Emmy Award winner Nate Burleson, and, of course, the Hall of Fame coach Bill Cowher. And, folks, out of an abundance of caution due to COVID protocols, former Super Bowl MVP Phil Simms, he'll be joining us remotely in just a bit. And, folks, the entire sports world is certainly reeling after the loss of our former colleague and friend, the iconic John Madden, who passed away Tuesday at the age of 85. There are certainly no words to adequately describe the indelible mark that John left as a player, a coach, broadcaster, and most importantly, as a husband, father, and friend. To say that his name is synonymous with football is indeed an understatement. He lived the game unlike anyone had before. And just as John entertained millions from the booth for decades, so too do Jim Nantz and Tony Romo, who are joining us now from Cincinnati to talk about the huge legacy that John left behind. Hello, Jim.
Hello, JB. The two of us, we had a blessing, didn't we, JB, to know him as a friend and a colleague going back to the mid-'80s. Just a towering figure, a giant of a man. It goes way beyond winning football games or popularizing the sport through a video game or broadcasting games. He was just a wonderful man. You knew him, too, from your first start.
Yeah, he did my first start. And to have a John Madden, feel like he likes you, it was just an unbelievable moment for a young man. And, you know, for me, Jim, you knew him at CBS for a long time. I mean, what did you think? Because I know you loved him.
I did love him, and he was just a special colleague. His fingerprints on so many careers, even to this day at CBS, and it goes way beyond. I want to emphasize this, X's and O's. He was a teacher. He always considered himself a coach more than a broadcaster. There he is with, of course, his longtime great running mate. What a kinship they had, John and Pat Summerall. But it was about people with John. He had time for everybody. He would know everyone on the crew, whether you were a runner or an entry-level production person, a technician. He knew you by name. He knew about your family. I'm going to show you a picture. Our game today is going to be directed by Mike Arnold, who first started working with John as a broadcast associate 40 years ago. He's our director today. This was a picture when his son Mark was born. At 2 weeks, there is John holding him like a proud grandfather. That's the kind of relationship he had with his colleagues at CBS. He loved this thing he called the hang. He never wanted a production meeting to end. He wanted to sit around and hear stories. He was a great listener. He wanted to hear what your story was, what made you interesting. And he just, he had time for everyone.
He really did, and his presence was so felt. When you were in the room with him, you couldn't help but just really love this guy. I mean, he was a gentle giant, but he had such a insatiable appetite, you know, for football, and you wanted to sit and listen to him be in his presence. I mean, I don't think he really could understand the influence he had over all the people across everywhere, right? As a youngster, the Madden football game, when I played football, he was right there announcing. And then here in the booth, it's such an honor. I mean, just to have known the man, and he'll be missed, Jim.
He will sorely be missed. This would have been a Madden Summerall game today, and we will try to pay tribute to the icon today, and Pat and John, from this day forward, moving on. He will be very much missed. JB, back to you.
Hey, Jim and Tony, thank you so much. And Jim, there's no question that our own Wayne Fiddleman, a John guy, knew all about the hang for sure. And look, I love saying these guys are members of the fraternity of players and coaches. Your thoughts about Coach?
Yeah, I'm going to try to keep it simple. Often, you know, he was imitative, never duplicated. He was the ultimate original, guys, hence the moniker icon. Take a look at this resume. It speaks for itself. I think back to the 1970s when the NFL and the AFL merged, and John Facenda was the voice of NFL films. And you think about those great Steelers, Cowboys, Vikings teams, and, of course, the John Madden teams. And then he goes on to become a broadcaster. I once told him the offensive lineman's prayer. We work the hardest, we're known the least, but who cares, for we are the reason. As a former offensive lineman, he loved it, and he became respected, revered, and, of course, Coach, for all of us, coaches and players alike, he was trusted.
He was trusted, Boom, and he was really admired. As I sit there as a professional coach, head coach, my memories of him is just the passion and the energy he had in the sideline, the flailing of the arms, the yelling at officials. I felt, okay, I'm validated in just being like John Madden as a coach. But then as a broadcaster, you got into that. The year we won the Super Bowl in 2005, we had 3 Monday night games leading up to that, and he did that Super Bowl. So by the time we got to that 3rd Monday night game and into the Super Bowl, he'd sit there with his player chart in the production meeting, and say, tell me about Ben Roethlisberger. How's he progressing? Well, he's progressing good, Coach. I mean, we're doing really good. Awkward moment of silence. We're probably going to do some things different this week. So, like, I think we're going to try to maybe throw the ball early more. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I think you're really going to like it. We're going to give it out of the pocket. I sat there and just kept wanting to get his approval.
Right.
I'm giving my whole game plan because we did trust him, and you were looking for a guy, looking at a guy that you revered, Nate. Yet, as a coach, as a broadcaster, as a man of the people.
It's like we all wanted his validation.
Yes.
And, you know, I was familiar with him growing up, but then as a player, things were put in perspective when these coaches that I respected, these players that I looked up to, they all looked up to Madden. And then when he transitioned into this space that we call home, which is TV and delivering the game to the viewer, he did it his way. He was passionate about it. You know, we oftentimes say we stand on the shoulders of giants. Well, I walk in the footsteps of Madden. I mean, he made the onomatopoeia popular, saying, boom, he's on his back. Yes. And now we talk about that and use those type of words and that type of language every single day, not just when we're talking about sports, but when we're off camera as well.
And for those of us in this family right here, our colleague Phil Simms, no one probably had Madden do more games of his than Phil Simms. Phil?
Yeah, JB, you know, he was there. He did a lot of games of ours, and I'll tell you this. There was never a Friday when he was doing a game that he wasn't standing on our sidelines watching practice. And when he stood there, I can tell you, you could feel it, the energy and the passion of our practice. It would all pick up because John Madden was standing over there on the sidelines, and the players wanted to try to impress him with what they're doing on the field. But, you know, I heard Bill Cowher, Boomer Esiason, everybody talking about how much we trusted him. In production meetings, I would tell him everything. And listen, never had to worry about what he was going to do with that information because he never broke that trust, that's for sure. Like everything he did in his life, bigger is always better. Coach Madden, that's the way he was. In 1986, I was very fortunate enough to make the All-Madden team. I think this trophy is perfect, and it exemplifies him. Big, heavy. I went downstairs last night and weighed it. It weighs over 20 pounds. So Coach Madden, one of my favorite trophies. Really loved everything you did.
Yeah. And you know what? Let me focus on the production meeting aspect of it. As Jim Nantz said, look, Madden was indeed bigger than life, but he knew that success was a team thing. And his launching pad here at CBS had him with Hall of Fame caliber talent like producer Bob Stinner, the lead director Sandy Grossman, and, of course, broadcasting Hall of Famer Pat Summerall, unselfish and a brilliant wordsmith. But John never closed out his information gathering sessions with the teams that would be playing on any given weekend without turning to his production team and asking them, is your bucket full? Because they knew that his bucket would be full to the brim in preparation for that game, if not overflowing. And you know, folks, yesterday the NFL community was further saddened by the death of Dan Reeves at the age of 77, the only person to appear in multiple Super Bowls as both a player and a coach. Reeves won a title as a running back and then again as an assistant with the Cowboys. As a head coach, he made 4 Super Bowl appearances, leading the Broncos to the title game 3 times and losing to them once in Super Bowl 33 while finishing his career with the Falcons. Reeves also spent 4 seasons with the Giants, where he coached our own Phil Simms back in 1993.
Well, JB, I don't have the time to really tell you everything I want to about Dan Reeves, but I'll just say this. The first meeting we had with him just kind of encompassed everything. He walked into the room, put his notepad down on the lectern, looked at the football team, and he says, everybody sit up straight, put your feet on the ground, take those dang hats off. And he had our attention. And I whispered to Bart Oates, my center next to me, I said, Bart, we are going to win. A team with no expectations. We went 11-5, went to the playoffs, won a playoff game. Dan Reeves, a great person and a Hall of Fame coach.
You know, I had a chance to meet Dan Reeves in the league meetings my 3rd or 4th year. Marty said, come on down, I want you to play golf. And so we made an annual golf trip. I got into a car. There was Don Shula, Marty Schottenheimer, and Dan Reeves.
Wow.
I don't know if I was there just a caddy for them, but I was like a fly in the wall. But I'll say this about Dan Reeves. He became a mentor, and he became a colleague, and he became a friend. This guy had over 200 wins. This guy's been to 4 Super Bowls. This guy deserves to be in the Hall of Fame.
That's right.
That kind of person.
Absolutely. I was about to say that, Coach. Thank you so much. Our thoughts and prayers, and certainly our condolences, are with his family at this time. And we'll have more of the NFL Today after this.
Ordinary tissues burn when Theo blows, so Puffs Plus Lotion rescued his nose. With up to 50% more lotion, Puffs brings soothing relief. A nose in need deserves Puffs Indeed, America's #1 lotion tissue.
If our turkey had a resume, it would say it's 99% fat-free, filler-free, and raised without antibiotics. But our turkey already has its dream job at Jersey Mike's. Premium meat makes a sub above.
Hun, those ribs ready?
No. Ribs, better with Pepsi.
Who's on it with Jardiance?
We're 25 million prescriptions strong.
We're managing type 2 diabetes and heart risk.
We're working up a sweat before coffee.
And saying no thanks to a Boston cream.
Jardiance is a once daily pill that can reduce the risk of cardiovascular death for adults who also have known heart disease. So it can help save your life from a heart attack or stroke. And Jardiance lowers A1C.
Jardiance can cause serious side effects, including dehydration, genital yeast or urinary tract infections, and sudden kidney problems. Ketoacidosis is a serious side effect that may be fatal. A rare but life-threatening bacterial infection in the skin of the perineum could occur. Stop taking Jardiance and call your doctor right away if you have symptoms of this bacterial infection, ketoacidosis, or an allergic reaction. And don't take it if you're on dialysis. Taking Jardiance with a sulfonylurea or insulin may cause low blood sugar.
Lower A1C and lower risk of a fatal heart attack? We're on it.
We're on it.
With Jardiance.
Ask your doctor about Jardiance.
How those fries you've been craving? I'm hot, and I'm steamy, and oh man, do I smell delicious. I'm calling your name. Oh, Doug. Doug. And if you don't have the right auto insurance coverage, paying for these repairs may be tough to swallow.
Get Allstate and be better protected from mayhem for a whole lot less.
Alone, chicken, onions, peppers, and cheese have potential. Together, they have a purpose, a destiny, and a name. Because grilled to order makes a sub above.
In the new year,
What are we waiting for?
new episodes of SWAT are moving to Sunday nights.
Let's roll.
A new SWAT tonight after NCIS Los Angeles on CBS.
The FBI's are all new. Tuesdays starting 8/7 Central on CBS.
And And welcome back to the NFL Today, presented by the all-new 2022 Grand Wagoneer. The San Francisco 49ers, folks, currently hold the 6th spot in the NFC playoff race. They'll look to solidify their position later today when they take on the upset-minded Houston Texans. In the Music City, Ryan Tannehill looks to hit the right notes as he faces his former squad from Miami, a big one in the AFC playoff race as the second-seed Titans play host to the red-hot Dolphins in Nashville. If games with big playoff implications is your thing, then it doesn't get any better than this week. And Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs holding on to the top spot in the AFC against Joe Burrow and the surging Bengals.
Mahomes now fires by Pringle, touchdown!
Thoroughly impressed by this team.
This right here looks like a team that can't be beat.
I tell you, he's very formidable.
The Chiefs won 8 straight. They win the AFC West for a 6th consecutive year.
They're the most dangerous team in the league.
Burrow back to throw. Caught by Higgins. And Higgins having a big day for Cincinnati.
Have a day, Joe Burrow.
This is a franchise record 525-yard performance.
What an impressive performance by him.
He's got his team right where they want him, and they got the Kansas City Chiefs.
The Chiefs headed to Cincinnati in one of the biggest games in years for the Bengals.
Oh, baby! Unreal!
Still a lot to be determined in the AFC. Up top, Kansas City remains top dog with a decent chance to clinch that first-round bye today. But the Titans can prevent that, wrap up the division with a win. The very same scenario applies to the Bengals, and Buffalo controls its own destiny. In the wild card spots, the Colts are win and in. The Patriots and Dolphins are holding on for now. The rest of the West and the North remain on the outs. Things are a little clearer in the NFC, where the top 5 seeds have already clinched playoff berths. The Rams could permanently join the Packers, Cowboys, and Bucs, coach, in the top 4 by clinging and clinching the division today. But Arizona could hold them off with a win, while the Eagles and Niners need victories to strengthen their cases. Meanwhile, the Vikes, Falcons, Saints, all still holding out hope for a wild card burst. Nate, your boy is breathing hard because I know.
I see it, JB.
Boomer loves that, though. Anyway, hey, Joe Burrow and the Bengals opened some eyes after a record day in last week's dub. But now, with the North on the line, it's time to put on their, if you will, big boy pants, facing a Chiefs squad that's hotter than what, Nate?
Fish grease.
All right, coach.
Fish grease or not, I'll tell you what they have to be able to do is win 3 consecutive games in a row. They've not done this since 2015, which was the last time they went to the playoffs. And to me, it comes down to Joe Burrow and that offensive line. Protecting Joe Burrow, they've given up 17 sacks, that being the offensive line of the Cincinnati Bengals the last 4 games. And Joe Burrow protecting the ball, going against a Kansas City defense, boom, that's pretty hot as well.
They are. You know, could you imagine a Madden telestrator for this game? It's going to be all over the place because balls are going to be flying in the air. But the Chiefs defense, 13 points a game. Joe Burrow and the Bengals are stepping up in class. Last week, they played against a decimated Baltimore Raven defense. This should be a very tight ball game. And the question is whether or not, Nate, the young Bengals will hold on to the ball and not turn it over.
Yeah, you mentioned that Chiefs defense over the last 7 weeks, 2+ turnovers on the defense side of the ball. So they are opportunistic. But Joe Burrow has a couple of good wide receivers. We're talking T. Higgins. And, of course, we know about Jamar Chase, both over 1,000 yards. And Tyler Boyd is 200 yards away from hitting that 1K mark. So they could have 3 1,000-yard wide receivers. This game will come down to him taking care of the ball, but also taking those shots downfield. But he has to be careful because that Chiefs defense, they will get after him.
Well, when you look at the Cincinnati defense, number 1, number 2, number 3, what's the main key for them? Keep Patrick Mahomes in the pocket, make him throw the football short, be a good tackling defense. And if you do want to play man-to-man coverage, 2 things they got to do. Double Tyreek Hill, which I think they will, and put somebody on Travis Kelce at the line of scrimmage and try to push him around so he can't get down the field so quick. Easy to say, hard to do against this Kansas City offense, JB.
Hey, Phil, and Miami has forced its way into the playoff picture with 7 straight wins, but to stay in, they'll have to make it 8, this time against the Titans, who are playing for the AFC South crown.
Yeah, Ryan Tannehill, this is about protection and protection. What do I mean by that? He's going to have to make sure that he's upright because that Miami Dolphins defense, over this win streak, they're first in sacks. So they get after quarterbacks and make them uncomfortable. The other protection, protect the football. Second most giveaways in the NFL, Ryan Tannehill, you got to take care of the rock.
All right, this 7-game winning streak for the Miami Dolphins. Who are they? Their combined record of the teams that they've beaten in this 7-game winning streak, 36 and 69. How about 2 of the last 2 games under 200 yards passing? They, too, much like the Bengals, are making a major step up in competition.
Meanwhile, the Patriots are reeling after dropping the last 2. Mac Jones could use a rebound game, if you will, against fellow rookie Trevor Lawrence and the Jags.
Question is, has he hit the rookie wall? I've seen it with Ben Roethlisberger. He's thrown 2 interceptions in each of the last 2 losses that they have. This needs to be a get-right game for Mac Jones. Throw the ball early, often, get his confidence back right now.
You know, Coach, that rookie wall, whatever, for a quarterback, it is real. I lived it. I think, Boomer, you said it once to me that you lived it too. And for Mac Jones, he's made some bad reads and some missed throws the last couple weeks. Today, he needs to get back on track and get that confidence going once again.
It's kind of nice having Phil at home, isn't it?
Oh! No, we miss him there, but I know you prefer him there. Hey, folks, as teams around the league continue, Boomer, to deal with the impact of COVID-19, we have our NFL Today insider, Jason Lockenfora, here to give us all the news and the latest updates from around the league. Hello, Jason.
Hey, JB, the NFL followed the CDC's lead last week and altered their return-to-play protocols yet again. Under the new rules, unvaccinated players can return in just 5 days, which is why Carson Wentz is able to start for the Colts today. However, Kirk Cousins tested positive later in the week. He's out for the Vikings tonight. Dr. Alan Sills of the NFL said he expects an uptick for the next couple of weeks in positive results, even with the new protocols in place. The Titans, they expect all-pro running back Derrick Henry back for the playoffs. This after he had foot surgery in November. In fact, I'm told Henry likely to return to practice this week. Trey Lance, the rookie, starts for the 49ers today. Jimmy Garoppolo's thumb injury, not long-term, could be back next week. And it's Tyler Huntley back for the Ravens. Lamar Jackson still inactive with an ankle injury. And Big Ben Roethlisberger, he's preparing for what undoubtedly will be his final game at Heinz Field on Monday. Big Ben hinted as much this week talking to the media. It's been an open secret in that organization, Ben's looming retirement. Nate, the Steelers have done a lot of work on this 2022 QB draft class. They're hopeful of finding their next franchise QB in the spring.
That's right, Jay. Every time you hit the show, you let us know what we need to know. If you want to see football covered like never before, tap into NFL Slime Time to see this week's best slime lights. Tune in every Wednesday night at 7 Eastern on Nickelodeon to see who joins Joe Burrow as the winner of the most fun trophy in sports, the MVP, only on NFL Slime Time. And there he is. Mr. Big Play Burrow faces KC today. Today is the biggest test of the young quarterback's career.
Coming up on the NFL Today. As the new year begins, the NFC playoff picture is starting to take shape. But which one of the top contenders do the guys think has the best shot of winning it all in Tinseltown? Last week, the Titans' A.J. Brown shined in his return to the field. And this week, the star wideout sat down with Coach to discuss the importance of finishing strong with the playoffs around the corner. After last week's big win against the Patriots at Foxborough, could this be the year the Bills finally exorcise their demons and make a deep postseason run? All that and more when the NFL Today on CBS returns. The NFL Today on CBS is presented by the all-new 2022 Grand Wagoneer.
This holiday, Verizon has the deal that gets better and better and better.
Get iPhone 13 Pro on us when you trade in your old or damaged phone.
Here, the phone everyone wants on America's most reliable network. Better? Better. That's not all. The new iPhone and up to 7 entertainment subscriptions for your family, like Apple Music, Apple Arcade, and more. Better? Better. Not done. The new iPhone, the entertainment, and up to $1,000 when you switch. Better. This year, holiday better with Verizon, because everyone deserves better.
Icy hot. Ice works fast. Heat makes it last. Feel the power of contrast therapy. So you can rise from pain. Icy hot.
USA, this is Stephanie.
Hi, this is Robert. I'd like to get up to 30% off my auto insurance with Safe Pilot.
I can help you with that. What's your member number?
87.
It should be between 5 and 12 digits.
Busted. This is Super Bowl champion Rob Gronkowski. I'm not a member.
Mr. Gronkowski, USAA is for the military community and their families. That's what makes us special.
Oh, but I'm special.
USAA, it's still only for the military community.
This is the move right here. Boom. Boom.
My turn. My bag of chips or your crunch wrap?
I think we have different definitions of sharing.
Next time you can divvy it up.
Wow, so generous.
We gave it headlamps that shine through the darkest days. It has an engine that can take us farther than ever before. Its truck bed has the capacity to carry the weight of the world, and its color can change everything. Because when called upon, this Ram is the only truck built to serve the greater good.
Amazing Race, here we come.
Go!
Slow and steady.
No, that's not, no.
You have to respect that she's in charge.
We'll get those tests ran.
Already did.
Morning, boss. Getting to work bright and early?
Bright and early means arriving before the boss.
Sophia Bush is Good Sam. New series Wednesday, 10/9 Central on CBS.
Certainly our thoughts and prayers are with Coach Madden's family. You know, we lost an icon.
You realize how much he touched the football world and all of us.
Nobody ever did it like he did it in terms of his ability to teach the fans the game on a kind of a layman's style that was entertaining.
I was so excited to meet him, to be around him, to hear his voice in person. You know, that was a big thrill.
The impact that John Madden made on not only the NFL but me and a lot of the players here in this league is tremendous.
And he brought a lot of people to the game. He brought a perspective to the game that was, you know, very unique.
I mean, he's always been very supportive, always been there, and he was a tremendous inspiration for me.
An amazing football legend. I mean, he meant a lot to the game. I think he entertained a lot of people. He brought a lot of joy to people's lives. So he was a great man, lived a great life.
And for years, our iVision segments have been a cornerstone of our show. I know that our guys relish the opportunity to break down and analyze the game in order to teach you, the viewer, just a little more about the sport that we all love. But for a long time, those segments weren't possible. Then, boom, John Madden popularized the use of the telestrator. So let's take a look back at Madden's best moments on the board.
I'll show you how I'm going to line them up right here. Solomon, from this point, starts out, runs a corner pattern there, and that's the one that got him down to the goal line. Bad circle. Burt, he lines up cockeyed. Offsides, it's okay in this team. Line up anywhere you want. The safety comes over, and look at this middle here. That's the area that they're going to try and hit. See, now Boomer can take the ball here. He can roll out left. They bring it from the outside, and boom, two up the middle. It's a tethered blip. See this here? It's tethered. These lines hold it still, so it stays there. This means nothing. That's the camera. Whack, he comes here. Marshall, whack, he comes here. Long, whack, he comes here. Where are you going to run on this thing? Then Keith Bishop leads through here in the linebacker. I got too many scratches in there. And then if you're going to pass like that, boom, 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 just keep going back like this.
You broke your choke.
Part of the deal. Like this is a father bucket. This is a mother bucket. And since the last game, they had a baby bucket. So this is a baby bucket. This guy crosses here. He crosses here. They have no idea where we are, who we are, where we're coming from, or who we're throwing to.
It scares me, but I understand it completely.
You know, when you talk about the iVision, JB, you're talking about us trying to give the fan a little bit understanding of the game, the strategies of the game, the X's and O's, the moves and counter moves, and at the same time, telestrating and showing the great skills that our NFL players have. You know, to understand the game and to appreciate the game is really to know the game. And that's what we try to give the viewers a little bit of that insight.
The subtles and nuances that you guys know all too well. Phil.
Well, JB and Coach, you know, the telestrator with John Madden, it was about information and, of course, a lot of entertainment. Every Friday, I'd have meetings with him when he did our games. I would get on the chalkboard, draw up 3 or 4 pass plays, why I think they would work, and maybe big plays in the game. Come home after the game, watch the tape if we won, and see how he did with those plays. And he would draw them up. I put 4 lines on each play. He would put 20 lines, circles, arrows everywhere. And when we got done, I don't know what he did, but I looked at it and just, well, that was entertainment, and that was John Madden.
Phil looks a little more animated away from us than when he's in the studio.
Phil, sometimes the iVisions have all those same lines going on, too, so trust me.
No doubt about it. Hey, with kickoff just about a half hour away, time now to set the scene at your game as we take you out to First on the Field, presented by Pepsi for the latest news and updates on your matchup.
All right, JB, there's your first look inside Soldier Field. It is cold. Temperatures right around the mid-20s, 24, 25 degrees, snow flurries, all part of the football backdrop as we welcome you to Chicago. Happy New Year, everyone. Spiro Adidas and Jay Feely. It's my kind of weather.
It's not your kind of weather. Let's be honest. You're a California guy. But this is football weather right here.
It is, and Jay knows all about this kind of weather. Both of these two coaches certainly maligned, to say the least. All kinds of reports out of Chicago that this will be it for Matt Nagy, and this very well could be his final home game. But you've been impressed with certain aspects of how he's approached the job of late.
Spiro, first of all, this will be his first losing season as the head coach. A couple 8-8s, 2 times made the playoffs. What he does really well is the relational aspect of being a head coach, working with his guys. You know, where he struggles is as a play caller.
Meantime, Joe Judge reports out of New York that Judge could be retained for another season. We'll see how that goes. All the kind of talk about the GM as well. What have you seen from Judge?
Well, I think there's questions at the quarterback position, at the head coach. As a GM, it's been very much a struggle for this entire organization this year.
Bears went to Seattle last week, actually scored that comeback win behind Nick Foles, so a bit of a surprise that they go back to Andy Dalton today, who's back from that hip flexor injury.
Yeah, I agree with you. I was surprised that it wasn't Nick Foles getting the start, but from day one, Matt Nagy wanted Andy Dalton to be the quarterback this year.
Meantime, for the Giants, Saquon Barkley, it has been a struggle to say the least as he returns back to this stadium. This is where he tore his ACL early last season. Hasn't been the same since.
Certainly hasn't been the same back. He hurt his ankle this year, coming back from the ACL injury. I give him credit for wanting to be out here on this field with really nothing to play for his teammates. Try and go out there, play as well as he can.
We'll see what Barkley has left in those legs as the Giants and Bears get set to do battle here in Week 17. We'll get you back to the NFL Today next.
When you order Domino's delivery online, you might get a surprise free, like pizza, lava cakes, or an endless stuffed cheesy bread. Oh, sorry, a regular stuffed cheesy bread. Still free, though. Skip the surprise fees from other delivery apps, and you could get one of these surprise frees from Domino's.
Huh. Is that true? Geico's been saving folks money for 85 years?
Yep, that's right.
Wait, so if Geico's 85, that makes you...
Are you asking if I'm 85 years old?
I mean, sea turtles live to be 150, so... No, I was not.
Do I look 85?
What? No! You look young. You look young for however old you are.
Geico, saving people money for 85 years.
Sweet pillows of softness.
This is soft.
Holy Charmin.
Excuse me.
Roll it back, everybody. Charmin Ultra Soft is so cushiony soft, you'll want more, but it's so absorbent, you can use less. Enjoy the go with Charmin.
You probably think Visa is a credit card company, huh? But it's actually a network. Connecting just about everyone to just about everyone else. It can open eyes with a cup of coffee and change minds about what makes a business a business. And it is working to connect everyone, everywhere. So, meet Visa, a network working for everyone.
So you guys know who Q is? Let me ask you something. You guys cops?
Heroes. Force. Fire.
Don't worry, we do stuff like this all the time. Sorry.
Reno 911, the hunt for QAnon.
Exclusively on Paramount Plus.
New United States of Al, Thursday, 8:30, 7:30 Central on CBS.
You've been on the edge of your seat.
Monsters of the Midway are in absolute force.
You've held your breath to the final seconds.
23 puts it up. He sends it deep to left.
You've been there for the thrill of victory.
Chicago recovers. The drought is over. Chicago's won it all.
And we'll be with you for that next magic moment. You can bet on it. Bet Rivers, Chicago's hometown sportsbook.
You're just one tap away from real-time weather alerts. Download the CBS Chicago app.
Next week is the NFL season finale, folks, featuring a weekend full of football, starting with a Saturday doubleheader over on ESPN at 4:30 and 8:15 Eastern. Then Sunday brings a full slate of games here on CBS and Fox before the season comes to a close in prime time on NBC. All right, time now for Pregame HQ delivered by Domino's. Bill Belichick certainly doesn't need anyone's validation, but folks, wow, the last 2 weeks might have left some with questions about the Patriots, so don't be surprised if we see the very best, even more so from the hoodie. After beating New England last week, the Bills got the ultimate validation from the host of the Jim Rome Show, which can be heard daily on CBS Sports Radio and CBS Sports Network, our guy, Jim Rome.
Hey there. Just a minute ago, we were re-goating Bill Belichick and talking about seeing him go up against TB44 in the Super Bowl. Now it is the Buffalo Bills who control their own destiny in the division. These are the Bills that we have been waiting on, the ones who came this close to the Super Bowl last year, and it was fair to ask whether that crew was ever going to show up, and they finally did. Busted up in a hostile environment in the most important game of the season. They didn't just show up, they showed out, and no one more so than Josh Allen. Now, that's what a franchise QB looks like, and that's what a Super Bowl contender looks like. Yes, today's matchup with Atlanta is the ultimate trap game, especially for a team prone to letdowns after big wins. But there is no way that happens now that the real Bills have shown up. Welcome to the party, pals. Better late than never. And yes, I am the guy who has been hyping the Arizona Cardinals all season. And every time I see one of the legends at that desk, no names mentioned, Boomer Esiason, he reminds me of it. And he is right to do so, because now I have the same questions about Arizona. They're playing their worst possible ball at the worst possible time again. They look bad, and they're making me look bad. And things don't look good going up against a Dallas team that just hung 56 on Washington. But here's my question about the Cowboys. Are they really that good, or is Washington really that bad? I need to see that kind of effort against a desperate Cards team. Do that again, and I will believe they aren't just good enough to win the division, but good enough to rip the Lombardi. And Niner fans are gripping, and they should be. Their crew came from ahead to lose to the Titans and beat themselves as much as Tennessee did. Actually, Jimmy Garoppolo did as much to beat them as the Titans did, tossing 2 picks and missing a wide-open touchdown. And now he's got a mangled thumb. I know Kyle Shanahan's figured out a formula for winning. Nasty defense, win the turnover battle, and unleash Kittle and Debo, but you do need a quarterback of some sort. And it's not clear if San Francisco has that right now. Credit to the Texans for wrecking the Chargers last week, but no matter who's under center for the Niners, if they can't handle the Texans today in their house with the season on the line, they do not deserve to go to the postseason against the top competition in the NFC.
Here it comes, there's just one chance to survive. Are you ready to fight? Let's go! Aaron Rodgers. Touchdown! There is your dagger! Green Bay Packers history.
And the Cowboys have done it very well.
Victory! Cowboys win!
That is one talented offensive football team, boy.
Touchdown, LA!
And LA has blown it open. And the Rams have new life.
Let's go!
Rams not stopping now.
When your quarterback is as hot as Tom Brady, you're going to get wins.
Touchdown, Tampa Bay!
Bucks win the NFC South.
Good job, baby. Are you ready to fight?
Wow, so some very strong contenders atop the NFC, the Packers, Cowboys, Rams, and Bucks, all loaded with talent, begging the question, who are you most confident in?
You know what? There's only one thing that makes me madder than Phil Simms, and that's a pass rush. And 3 of these teams have a great pass rush, and that would be the Bucks, the Rams, and, of course, the Cowboys. I would be worried about those teams, but Aaron Rodgers is my guy. I feel like he is on a mission this year, much like Tom Brady was on a mission last year. 4 numbers stick out to me. Number 1 in the NFC. That means home field advantage at Lambeau. 33 touchdowns and only 4 interceptions by the great number 12, Aaron Rodgers, up in Green Bay, and only 27 sacks. I'm going to ride my Super Bowl pick all the way to L.A. with Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I agree. It's the Green Bay Packers, and they're talented on both sides of the ball. But it is about Aaron Rodgers. He is their leader. And he's only had 2 lackluster performances. Right out the gate, we remember that game versus New Orleans. He had 0 TDs, 2 interceptions. They lost that game. And then in the middle of November, he had a bad bad game against Seattle, which they still won. But it's the defense side of the ball that we're not talking about. They're 6 in takeaways, and they get Jair Alexander back. I feel like it's the Green Bay Packers.
Their defense has given up 30 points in 3 of the last 5 weeks. That's the only thing I would say right now. It's kind of wavering a little bit. But I'll tell you what, when you look at the Dallas Cowboys and LA Rams, both have won 4 straight. I'm going to say this about the Rams. Aaron Donald is starting to heat up. He's got 6 sacks in his 4-game winning streak. Odell Beckham, 4 touchdowns in the last 5 games. And Sony Michel, over 100 yards right now. This is a team that they went out and got these trades. These veterans are starting to fit into the system. The LA Rams are a team, I would say right now, they're peaking at the right time.
All right. Here we go. Here is Saquon Barkley. In the words of Charles Barkley, people call this team terrible, but Saquon has a couple of weeks left to prove that he is the man for the job in New York City.
Oh, that's great.
Hard work? Sure. Guesswork? No thank you. Because when you're on a mission, you want to get it right the first time. That's where the Home Depot comes in, with an app to rent and reserve the right tools with just a tap. With convenient image search options, and with the ability to see how something looks in your space before you even buy it. It's how the Home Depot takes the guesswork out of the hard work. The Home Depot app. How doers get more done.
And this touchdown is under review.
So, how's it look? I'm going to go with the front and rear floor liners. Yeah? I also went with the cargo liner. It fits perfectly. Huh.
Wow, this is taking a long time, folks.
Hey, you see they got a bigger bump step? Nice. So, how about the play? Oh, he had both feet in bounds. Call stands.
The ruling on the field stands. Touchdown.
Order yours today at WeatherTech.com. The ultimate protection for your vehicle.
Hey, don't forget the cup phone.
Why is it when someone says, I'm toast, it's not a good thing?
I'd be happy if I was toast.
Why?
Because I'd be delicious. Sonic Patty Melt. And everyone would love me.
Jake from State Farm. Thanks for the great rate on my insurance, man.
Wait, I said Byron got the Patrick price? Thought that was our thing.
Thanks for the killer rate, Jake.
Shreddy Betty got it too?
Patrick, State Farm offers rates that fit anyone's budget, even when a man handstand.
Thanks again, Jake. Up top. I'm gonna go work out these fillings.
For surprisingly great rates that fit any budget, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Call or click to get a quote today.
Nachos, better with Pepsi.
Napoleon was born and raised to conquer, but he was just kind of over it, you know. Watching Prime Video, he realized he should follow his dreams. So he ordered a microphone with Prime next day delivery. Now the only thing he cared about conquering was his audience.
Tout le monde peut me voir derrière. Ok, je me lève.
Prime changed everything.
The NFL Today is sponsored by Verizon, the official 5G network of the NFL. Geico, you could save even more by bundling home and car insurance. And by the all-new 2022 Grand Wagoneer.
Week 17 and 18 marked the very first time that the NFL will collectively highlight its commitment to its year-long social justice initiative, Inspired Change. By the way, that focuses on reducing barriers to opportunity and creating progress in education, economic advancement, community and police relations, and criminal justice reform. Simply text NFLIC to 635-635 to learn more. It takes all of us to advance social justice. And remember, folks, A.J. Brown is like what? Always open. 7-11 indeed, and he lived up to that moniker last week by putting up all Madden-type numbers, and our coach got some FaceTime with the star receiver this week.
That's right, JB. In Week 16, A.J. Brown made a triumphant return to the field for Tennessee, dominating the 49ers defense in a huge win. And earlier this week, I caught up with the Titans' young star and discussed everything from his relationship with Mike Vrabel to the importance of mental health for players across the NFL.
Tannehill drops. Pressure coming. He fires downfield. Touchdown! Titans! Arthur! One! Brown! Welcome
All right, AJ, let's talk about last week. Your first game in over a month, 16 targets, 11 receptions. Number one, how are you feeling?
I was out of breath majority of the game, but I was having fun, so I wasn't too tired when I needed a big catch or something.
What were your teammates saying to you on the sideline? Was there anything that you were getting some encouragement as you were sitting there trying to catch your breath?
This entire game, as I was heating up, they was telling me, keep going, keep carrying us. We're glad you're back. I took the responsibility for myself just to give this team a spark.
Not believing. Of course. Why would you not?
You've had this great relationship with Ryan Tannehill. You both kind of came there in 2019. It seems like you just clicked. Talk with me a little bit about that, how that's evolved.
He's more than just my quarterback. I go over his house. He come to my house, shoot pool. I'm glad he's my quarterback. He believes in me. I believe in him. I'm excited. I'm excited what the future holds for both of us.
You seem to have a very good relationship with Coach Vrabel. How is that?
Oh, it's a great relationship. You know, sometimes we bump heads, but of course, you know Vrabel just as well as I do.
Yes.
But he's a great coach and an even better person.
A month ago, you made a reference to a year it's been. You dealt with the mental health issues. You did a TikTok video, you did a press conference on it, and quite frankly, AJ, it was very powerful.
Hi, my name is AJ Brown. I play for the Tennessee Titans. Kind of even nervous even be saying this, but a year ago from today, I thought about taking my own life. I had no more hope for better days. Everything was just going wrong for me. The reason why I'm sharing this message today to you is I'm still here, I'm still going, I'm still smiling. I got a lot of things to be grateful for.
What is your message about the mental health issues that are in our society today?
In the sports world, we need to get rid of the stigma of just being so tough, and you know, and you can talk about whatever's going on with you. And if you're dealing with something, it's okay not to be okay. I was just so proud of myself, how far I've came. I just wanted to share the good news, and yeah, I know people didn't really know what was going on, you know, behind closed doors, and that's what a lot of people do today. You know, we put on a fake smile and just try to keep going, but you know, life happens to everyone. So, but I just wanted to help someone, and I knew that video would help someone, most definitely.
Good luck to you now the rest of the way, AJ, and continue to speak out on it, because you know what? You are so powerful of a platform you have, and your message, again, it's not just for players, it's for people out there. And when our society where it is right now, people have a stigma about it and are afraid to talk about it. And you talking openly about it, it's going to make a difference in people's lives. And I mean that. Thank you for sharing your story, because you're going to make a difference in somebody else's life.
All right, thank you. Thank you so much.
And I talked about Mike Vrabel, and I remember Mike and I coming in at times, and a lot of players, when I was the head coach at the Pittsburgh Steelers, shutting the door and talking about life and talking about how they are at home. I always said a player, if he's not good at home, he's not going to be good at work. So, you know what, for A.J. Brown to come out and use that platform, it isn't a stigma. You know what it is? It's a sign of courage, and we all have to be very comfortable to have those uncomfortable conversations. And I could do kudos to A.J. Brown for coming out and talking about this openly.
Yeah, I like that he says, I'm always open. And maybe after listening to this, that means something different, being open about what you're going through. We're wearing these Inspire Change pins on our lapels to highlight the work that the NFL is doing in certain communities. But players can inspire change. And I would encourage every athlete, every celebrity, influencer to share these issues, because your private fight can become somebody's public strength. And if you're going through something at home, which a lot of you are, just remember, you will get through it. And when you do, you'll realize life didn't get easier. You just got stronger.
You know, Coach, great advice, because nobody knows better than I do that you could take a platform that is the NFL or a broadcasting platform, and you can raise hundreds of millions of dollars, and you can bring smiles to many people's faces, which I've done through the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation and my own foundation. I want to see A.J. Brown out there smiling. I want to see him doing more, and I appreciate him being open and honest with us and inspiring change for the NFL and people who have those issues.
You know what? So much of the public probably want to know more particulars about what A.J. was alluding to. That's not what's important. What's important is that they have a listening ear and heart in coaches and staff. And I commend the NFL for its robust Inspire to Change, despite all the criticism, because you know what? This game is played by human beings.
That's right.
Some people say, if you want to see America, see it on the 4th of July. But America is just as beautiful on the 4th of January or February. Stripped of its leaves, but not drained of its color. No one experiences a true American winter the same way. But those with the confidence and capability in the all-new 2022 Grand Wagoneer will remember the adventure as long as they live.
If our turkey had a resume, it would say it's 99% fat-free, filler-free, and raised without antibiotics. But our turkey already has its dream job at Jersey Mike's. Premium meat makes a sub above.
What is an overpass? Come on. Question, is that an S or a 5?
I think it's a 5.
I thought so. Frustration loading.
Nobody wants more robot tests, but we could all use more ways to save.
Star latte for Rob Ott or Rob Ott.
Error human.
Switch to Geico for more ways to save.
Icy hot. Ice works fast. Heat makes it last. Feel the power of contrast therapy. So you can rise from pain. Icy hot.
This holiday, Verizon has the deal that gets better and better and better.
Get iPhone 13 Pro on us when you trade in your old or damaged phone.
Here, the phone everyone wants on America's most reliable network. Better? Better. That's not all. The new iPhone and up to 7 entertainment subscriptions for your family, like Apple Music, Apple Arcade, and more. Better? Better. Not done. The new iPhone, the entertainment, and up to $1,000 when you switch. Better. This year, holiday better with Verizon, because everyone deserves better.
We all need help, just different kinds. Maybe you need a little. Maybe you need a lot. At H&R Block, get the expert tax help you need, online and in person. Help is here.
Alone, chicken, onions, peppers, and cheese have potential. Together, they have a purpose, a destiny, and a name. Because grilled to order makes a sub above.
The NFL regular season finale is here.
Let the games begin.
Game time!
It's high stakes.
We set the tempo hard like A-Day.
Make your move.
Game time like game day.
Seize your destiny.
Let's go, Kelsey! Good night!
Last shot to change the whole picture.
Hard fought, gutsy win.
Now let the games begin.
The NFL season finale, all weekend long.
The NFL Today on CBS is presented by the all-new 2022 Grand Wagoneer.
And welcome back to the NFL Today. And now Amazon takes you out to the sights and sounds of the game between the Giants and the Bears. So let's take you out to Chicago with our announcers, Spiro Ditas and Jay Feely.
All right, JB, Happy New Year from the Windy City, where 2 historic NFL franchises are getting set to meet late season. Week 17, the New York Giants and the Chicago Bears getting set to do battle. Weather is going to be a factor. Temperatures in the mid-20s, snow flurries. These loyal Bears fans braving the elements. Grant's crew is out here bright and early trying to get this playing surface in working shape as we are set for the Bears and the Giants. Hi, everyone. Happy New Year from Chicago alongside former NFL Pro Bowler Jay Feely. I'm Spiro Ditas. Jay, you played for both of these organizations. It has been a rough stretch, to say the least, for both.
Yeah, Spiro, 2 very proud franchises, great history, and really I believe the NFL is better when these teams are good, but it has been a struggle, to say the least.
All right, let's talk about both of these head coaches. Both men maligned. There are reports circulating here in Chicago that it could very well be Matt Nagy's final game coaching in this stadium, and it's crazy to think how well it started for Nagy here. 12 wins his first season, but 8-8 each of the last 2 as they are going to miss the playoffs.
This is going to be his first losing season. He's made the playoffs twice, but he's really struggled as a play caller. Gave up play calling last year and this year. I think he does a good job as the CEO manager, really good with relationships, but obviously the record hasn't been good enough this year. And when you look on the other side of Joe Judge, they brought him in, wanted him to be the CEO. He needed to hire a great staff. I think he struggled to do that. They got rid of his offensive coordinator and Jason Garrett already this year. year, and they have struggled as a staff to get the most out of their players. They've had a lot of injuries as well this year.
Meantime, for Chicago, still no Justin Fields. He's dealing with that ankle injury, and so they go back to Andy Dalton. It was Nick Foles who led them to the win in Seattle last week, but it is Dalton today as he makes his first start since week 13. Meantime, for the Giants, Saquon Barkley back in Chicago. This is where he tore his ACL early last season, week 2, and Jay, he has not been the same since.
No, took the league by storm. Rookie of the year. Unbelievable playmaking ability, and he just hasn't been the same. Hurt his ankle this year. You couple that with the knee injury, and he hasn't been the same, but I give him credit for wanting to be out of here for his teammates today.
It's been a rough year for the Bears in terms of the team, but the defense has played well, and this guy has been the biggest reason why. What a season for Quinn.
He's been spectacular. You look at not just the 17 sacks and has a chance to break the Bears franchise record today, but you look at run against the run as well as dropping into coverage. Whatever his new coordinator, Sean Desai, has asked him to do, he's done it and done it well.
Quinn begins the day just a half sack behind Richard Dent, who has the all-time single-season sack record for the Bears. He set it back in 1984, where it's 17 and a half. As the fans continue to file into Soldier Field, Giants and the Bears. But right now, to honor an NFL legend, we throw it to PA announcer Tim Sinclair.
This week, we lost 2 beloved members of our football community. John Madden was an icon in the National Football League as a coach, broadcaster, and video game innovator. He loved the game and made it accessible to everyone. Jeff Dickerson was one of Chicago's top reporters, covering the Bears for 20 years for ESPN. A proud father, Jeff's trademark was his positivity and warm smile. Both men will truly be missed. Please stand for a moment of silence in honor of Coach Madden and JD. Thank you.
NCIS is hunting a fugitive.
Stole highly classified Navy software.
Where is he?
A new NCIS, Monday, 9/8 Central on CBS.
CBS Mornings, weekdays on CBS.
You're just one tap away from award-winning investigations. Download the CBS Chicago app.
It's the final days of Ashley Home Store's New Year's sale. Last chance to save up to 30% off. Find this queen bed now only $379. Or get 0% interest financing for 6 years. Ends Monday. Only at Ashley Home Store.
Since retirement, I've been trying a lot of new things with Frank's Red Hot. It's the perfect blend of flavor and heat. Like me. And it's great on all the recipes I've mastered. I put that on everything.
Look at this guy. He's really working hard. You know what he'll get? Muscle pain. You know what he should get? Advil. Pain says you can't. Advil says you can.
We're eating and drinking foods and beverages that are very acidic. It can soften the enamel. Pro-enamel repair, what it's doing is driving more minerals deep into the enamel surface that's going to help actively repair. Pro-enamel is taking it to another level.
Wherever your journey takes you this winter, get away with our best deals of the season. Right now, get huge savings on the entire lineup of award-winning Hyundai vehicles at the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. With new cars arriving just in time for the holidays, it's the perfect time to get a Hyundai. Now choose 0% APR financing or sign and drive on our most popular models. Visit buyhyundai.com today.
Let it go. Experience the magic at Frozen, Disney's latest hit Broadway musical. From the producer of The Lion King comes the show critics are calling a serious mega hit. Let it go. Let it go. Frozen is a can't-miss Broadway event.
Final performances through January 22nd at the Cadillac Palace Theater. Get tickets at BroadwayInChicago.com.
Since retirement, I've been trying a lot of new things with Frank's Red Hot. It's the perfect blend of flavor and heat. Like me. And it's great on all the recipes I've mastered. I put that on everything.
Ashley Home Store's New Year's sale ends Monday. Don't miss up to 30% off store-wide or 0% interest financing for 6 years. Find this 5-piece dining set only $20 per month. Ends Monday, only at Ashley Home Store.
Well, these are the kind of football conditions you dream about as a kid. Snow flurries, temperatures in the mid-20s for these two iconic NFL franchises. Bears and Giants next from Chicago.
You booked a sunny Verbo ski chalet with endless views of snow-covered peaks. A stove that inspires magnificent hot cocoa. And a perfect ski-in, ski-out. But the thing they'll remember forever? Grandpa coming out of retirement to give a few ski lessons. The time to plan your get-together is now. Find it on Verbo.
Introducing High-Low, FanDuel's new free game. Just pick the teams you think will score the highest and lowest in 4 categories for a chance to win $1 million. Here to make their weekly picks are Phil and Boomer.
All righty, I'll start with rushing yards. And for the high, give me the 49ers. They take on the Texans, who allow over 140 yards per game on the ground. And for the low, I'll take the Dolphins because they're facing Tennessee's second-ranked run defense. Now, Phil's not here this week, but he did tell me he's taking passing yards for the high. He's taking the Chiefs because Patrick Mahomes, of course, is averaging over 300 yards per game the last 3 weeks. And for the low, he's going to take Atlanta because they play against the league's top passing defense in the Buffalo Bills.
It's not too late. Make your picks for a shot at our $1 million grand prize. You've still got about 15 minutes to enter. Just go to FanDuel.com/high-low.
CBS Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
Just about ready. So much history between these two franchises that played for the NFL championship 6 times before the Super Bowl era. We've touched on the weather. Jay, you were down on the field. It feels, I'd say, colder than 25 down there.
It was chilly, and the field conditions, wind, it's going to have an impact.